Tell me whether you think you're healthy or unhealthy.
Today's children are bombarded with information about diets, weight loss and the dangers of obesity.
I try my hardest not to be fat because I'm quite scared to be fat.
But how much do they and should they take on board?
I'd like look at the calories, see how many it's got, because I try not to have too many.
Should we be allowing our children to diet, or is it fueling a body-conscious generation and the trend for eating disorders?
When I first saw the psychiatrist, they were saying you could die at any time.
I'm making this film because I have a personal interest in how much children worry about their weight. When I was a child, I was sent to a psychiatric hospital in York, suffering from anorexia.
I was in chemistry at school and I remember my chemistry teacher saying, you know, your mum's come to pick you up, and then I remember like her just driving me somewhere, and the next thing I know I just remember waking up in bed in this hospital really that I didn't really know anything about.
That was 13 years ago. For the first time I'm going back to the hospital which saved me. How did an innocent diet at 12 lead me here? And it's not just me. Over the past 2 years, the number of children admitted to hospital with eating disorders has gone up by a quarter. Shockingly, 10% of those are under 10 years old. I want to explore what sparks children's interest in their body shape and why an innocent diet for one child can lead to a life-threatening disorder for another. My first visit is to Northampton to see Talisha, who comes from a health-conscious family of 4. When her mum goes to the gym 3 times a week, Talisha does lengths.
I can't go to the gym because I'm too young. You need to be, I think, 16 or over.
And how old are you?
10.
Although she's only 10, Talisha already seems to be conscious of what grown-up society says are body imperfections.
I worry about my stomach.
Why?
Because I think I'm fat.
Why do you think you're fat?
I don't know, I just do.
Talisha is extremely body conscious. She will stand in the mirror and look at her belly and poke it and prod it and say, you know, I think I'm fat, do you think I'm fat?
Talisha's mum also lets her use the home gym equipment in their front room.
I go on this cross trainer for 3 to 4 times a week because it helps me burn off calories. And after I go on this, it helps my stomach area.
I think a 10-year-old is a bit young to be worrying about weight and appearance.
To be worrying about weight, yes, I was going to say at this age, because children go through the puppy fat stage and lose it, but looking after your appearance, no, you're never too young for that.
Talisha is just one of a growing number of children who actively try to change their body shape, according to studies done on dieting by Professor Andrew Hill.
Around 20% of 9 and 10-year-old girls say they're currently dieting to lose weight, and twice that number say they've already tried to do it.
Like adults, children are becoming acutely aware that you are what you eat. I've come to South Farnham Primary School in Surrey, which has won awards for encouraging healthy eating.
You will have been handed a card. On one side you will notice, a lovely fruit bowl, which in my eyes
In it, or a lot of fat or cheese or cream are quite scary, and I feel really guilty a lot of the time if I choose something that's not
The first thing you said, literally.
what I think of as really healthy.
I think in a way what the anorexia has kind of changed its point of view, and that now it's very much to do with eating healthily and eating healthy food. It's the kind of what you read in the newspapers is supposed to be good for you, and I think probably is, but from Becca's point of view it's a little bit obsessive still. There's so much in the news about obesity epidemic and how bad it is to be fat, whereas in fact it's much more dangerous to be too thin.
But society's rejection of fat is arguably more about image than it is about health. and children inevitably pick up on that.
If I saw an obese person on the street, I definitely think that they didn't care at all about their appearance.
When you look at the way that 9 and 10-year-olds respond to pictures of fatness and thinness, their reasoning is very black and white. It's either good or it's bad.
What is wrong with being fat?
I think I'd get teased at school if I was fat, and I don't like the appearance of being fat either.
I think Zach is very aware that if you look good, then you're probably likely to be more successful. I don't think he's linked it so much to fitness as to how he wants to look.
9-year-old Zach's exercise routine focuses on toning up the muscles in his abdomen.
I've seen people with six-packs, and I thought, wow.
What boys tend to do in response to not liking one's body shape or weight is they will tend to use physical activity more than diet as a way of control. And of course, boys grow into their desired body shape to a degree more than girls.
There's not so much risk of becoming extremely sick if you're using exercise to sculpt your body than if you're actually starving yourself. So in a way, I feel quite lucky that Zach is a boy and not a girl. I think it's still easier to be a boy than be a girl and grow up and not have this tiny ideal figure.
Having an ideal figure matters to 12-year-old Sawyer, who lives in Middlesbrough with her mum. Sawyer wants to be a model and sticks to a low-fat diet to avoid putting on weight. She's keen to show me how grown up she looks in her recent holiday photos.
You don't look 12 in these pictures, do you?
Yeah, everyone was saying I look like 15 or something.
How did that make you feel?
It made me feel more grown up, because I think when you grow older you get more skinnier, because you get to eat like more healthy foods.
I'm taken aback by the photos, but Sawyer's mum says they're an example of how 12-year-olds are growing up fast.
She looks like a little 12-year-old schoolgirl there, doesn't she? The difference is amazing. She sort of transforms into a different person when she's going out at night as well. She sort of, she'll come in from school and she's in this uniform, and then suddenly she comes downstairs and her makeup's done, the hair's done, she's got this short dress on. I think, wow.
It's not long before I see the transformation for myself. Sawyer and her friends are getting ready for an under-16s nightclub.
I keep getting mascara in my hair.
She always tries to look fashionable. She always tries to look, unfortunately she says it's sexy, but I think it's just a case of, in her opinion, looking nice really.
Do you think her outfits are a bit too grown up?
I do worry that she sometimes maybe goes too over the top. Some of the things she wears sometimes I think, but then I think, well, she's 12, but you only live once, and why not? She's happy.
Sawyer does seem happy, and as the evening progresses I realise she's not the only 12-year-old who likes to dress up.
Are you excited?
The club is packed with over 1,000 under-16s. But what confuses me about Sawyer is that while she wants to dress and behave like a grown-up, she doesn't want her body to follow suit. Earlier, when she was choosing her outfit, Sawyer told me something which really shocked me.
What size do you normally take?
I normally take, I have loads of different sizes. I wear like 6 to 7 clothes and 8 to 9, and
how old are you?
I'm 12.
So they're littler than you?
Yeah.
Is that important?
Yeah, because I think it's a good thing to wear clothes that are smaller than you, because it shows that you are skinny, and you do try to stick with how skinny you are. Mom, where's my size 0 trousers?
Like many adults, Sawyer wants to fit into smaller size clothes. But while adult sizes are arguably about body shape, children's sizes are about growth.
I think nowadays, in people's eyes, the ideal weight, the ideal girl, even at this age, is small and petite and skinny, to be honest. I mean, I would say Sawyer